Tonight I sat by twinkling Christmas tree lights in a dim lamp, eating a simple dinner I made without much thought. I baked a butternut squash and added beets and an onion towards the last 30 minutes of baking. I made a cup of rice and drizzled unfiltered olive oil over the top after it was in my ceramic bowl. Corey gifted me this bowl for Christmas this year. It was made by our almost 90-year-old neighbor who lives alone high up on the back hill as a gardener and potter. The home we are currently living in used to be her family's farm. Corey is out in the shop working on our CRV, and our daughter is at her boyfriend's. It's just me and Meow currently inside. Meow got discouraged with me not letting her on my lap, her favorite place in the house, while I was already juggling, eating, and occasionally reading Kokoro by Beth Kempton. She has now ventured upstairs to find another suitable spot for her nap. I sat eating, noticing my chewing and swallowing, sitting in complete silence. No television or radio on, no cell phone, just me staring at my tree. It's mid-January, and I'm in no hurry to toss it out, even though my husband informed me today it's drying out. I wondered about the people all over the world who were also eating in silence, noticing the act of chewing and swallowing, the flavors, textures, and sounds. This brought me a sense of connectedness and intimacy through the state of presence. Somehow the silence and stillness, coupled with my presence, brought me into communion with my recently deceased mother. It's not unusual for me to feel her or talk to her, but at this moment I felt her touch me on my right shoulder, gently acknowledging to me that she was there. I started to cry. I asked her what life was for or about, and she said with ease and grace to contemplate or to know God. This simple and honest answer struck me as profound and left me thinking, of course it is. Isn't that what we are all doing here? Contemplating our existence and the existence of a creator. I asked her what the meaning of death was, and she simply said, to know life. I sat quietly for some time, just feeling into her sincere answers. I told her that I contemplate life even while I am also alive. Can the deceased contemplate God while they are dead? And she said, of course. Just because someone is dead doesn't mean they are done learning and know everything. They are still much in the unknown, just as you are. I felt into that contemplation for a while too. I suppose some unconscious part of me thought once dead, you become all-knowing. So I'm here contemplating the nature of God, and you are there contemplating the nature of life, huh? And somehow these two seemingly separate parts are part of the whole, like yin and yang. What does it mean then to know God and life? To no longer separate them into two parts, but enter into their wholeness. My dear mother and I sat quietly, realizing this was how we were able to have this conversation and feel our connection to each other, even while I am alive and she is deceased. We sat still as if suddenly realizing a small piece of the whole. I sat in silent meditation, waiting for some great epiphany or insight to come flooding into my awareness. I sat clenched, awkwardly, not relaxed and open, but hyper attentive and alert, as if in some kind of danger. This recognition made me laugh and release my hold on finding something, as if I was meditating for an outcome or destination, instead of enjoying being in the still and silent moment, simply being alive. Last night I heard the melodic tapping of our radiator pipes. The sound like gentle rain dripping from the gutters onto the ground below brought my awareness to my heart, pumping like a clock ticking. I thought about my impermanence, how someday my heart will stop and this body will die. I'm 47 years old, which means I'm most likely over halfway through this embodiment. My mother died at 68 years of age. That's 20 years from now. This felt realization and contemplation didn't scare me. Instead, I felt comforted by both the vibrational sound of my ticking clock, as well as the focus upon savoring life while I'm here. At some point, I fell asleep, lulled by my ticking clock. I woke up still in the vibrational resonance of my melodic clock ticking. This old friend that formed me in the womb of my mother is still cradling me until it's my time to release the mold.